Healthcare professionals, what is a telltale sign a patient has used drugs heavily in their life? I remember doing phlebotomy rotations at a hospital in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. Aside from the small 60-bed hospital, there was nothing but farmland for miles. I met a patient with heavily scarred, twisted veins. I failed to hit a couple times, but eventually found a viable one. For users, can be tough sticks, but what makes me remember him to this day is the forlorn look in his eyes when he softly asked me to be careful because it was his last good one, so please don't blow it. 60-year-old man who had done some drugs in life, but was a heavy alcoholic. Never tells DRS of his past. Quit all by age 50. Health is falling apart by age 60. Doctor does an MRI and showing him pictures explaining the results. She turned to him and asked if he had drank heavy for years. He glares at me thinking I tattled. No. Doctor shows him the extra space in his skull around his brain. Explaining his brain had shrunk from alcohol abuse. I guess you can lie about it, but can't hide it. When you give them 6 milligrams of Versed and 300 micrograms of fentanyl and they are still talking to you like normal. He can hit his veins better than you. He was smacking his mouth like a fish out of water, wearing a leather jacket in the middle of a hot Texas July. Admitted to coming down after smoking meth. It's damn hard to get in them in our usual go-to places due to scarring of the veins. They usually tell us where we have to go, because that's the only place that still works. If they are in recovery, they will often use a lot of sugar and caffeine. If currently using, they'll spend a lot of time in the bathroom. I had a patient once refuse the contrast dye injection as part of an MRI scan, because you don't know what's in that stuff. They were there, because they were having palpitations following cocaine use. They look 10 to 20 years older than their stated age. Work in anesthesia, they require 5x the meds to go sleep. You can tell by the way that they are. The surprising ones are the closeted grandma/grandpas. I worked in the cath lab and an older lady's cath was negative and the doctor told her, "Then what caused me to have chest pain?" "Probably your habit, ma'am." "What do you mean?" "The heroin." "Oh. Really?" She looked like your average quilting champion. When they are 25 to 30 years old and look 50. I did residency in Phoenix, Arizona. One of our nurses frequently referred to the tooth-to-tattoo ratio as a predictor of the amount of methamphetamine use. There was a consistent inverse ratio. They tell you, I use drugs, never forget a patient's history is an important tool. When you tell patient, doctor ordered morphine and they tell you only dilaudid works. Impatience, mood swings, shakiness, many more really depends on the substance though. Drugs is an umbrella term for practicality, not for physical/chemical similarity. Weed abuse, alcohol abuse, meth abuse all very different. Put individuality on top of it and it gets harder and harder to make a judgment. As a fairly heavy weed smoke, I'm interested in hearing about telltale signs of that side too compared to just hard drugs if anyone can pitch in.